Hello healers and health seekers, it's me, Ichoda, healing with medical medium information for 3 years and 10 months now, which means that's almost 4 years. That's pretty close. If you want to know more about what I'm healing from, fibromyalgia, mast cell activation disorder, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, hypothyroid, dysautonomia, POTS, SIBO, migraines, bursitis, arthritis, oh my gosh, I have so many diagnoses and symptoms and conditions, mast cell activation disorder. Here's the thing with chronic illness, sometimes you become a collector and you collect more and more chronic illnesses because you keep looking for relief and looking for help, and all doctors give you is a new diagnosis. Oh, go to this doctor and then you'll get fibromyalgia. I got that one. And bursitis and arthritis. Go to this doctor and you'll get Lyme disease. Go to this doctor and you'll get MS. Go to this doctor. Oh my gosh. It's such a relief to be off the go to this doctor for a diagnosis merry-go-round, because they'll give you a diagnosis, but guess what they will not give you? A cause. Never a cause. I asked over and over again. I got so excited when I found the geneticist that gave me the diagnosis of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, because I thought, okay, this guy, he's been studying this his whole life, his family has it, all the stuff, like he's going to know what the cause is, he's going to know what to do. He did not. He did not. There's no money in causes. Anyway, that's not actually what I'm here to talk about, not specifically. Today, it's time for What's Up Wednesday, and that's when I come in here and I give you an update on my healing journey. And I'm going to start with chemical sensitivity. That is one of my diagnoses, but also that is just the name of symptoms that I have as well. So here's just a little picture of life with chemical sensitivity. I started a little garden. Well, I started some seedlings, and I needed to get supplies to start those seedlings. And one of the things is I want to repot my seedlings from the little trays that they're in now, currently, to a little bit bigger nursery pots so that they have more space to grow, so they will be more ready when I plant them in the bigger containers that I'm putting them in outside once this weather kind of stops going up and down, because today it's 41 degrees, but last week it was 86. So I'm in the middle of the United States and the weather's just like that. So once it kind of gets more settled into what it's supposed to be and the seedlings are old enough and big enough and ready to go outside and be planted in the bigger container, I wish I had a garden in the ground to plant them in, but currently living with my in-laws until we find a house. But this whole situation in the world has made it so that we put looking for a house on pause, because this is not really a stable time in the world to go buying a house and take on having a mortgage. So right now we're in a extended temporary space. That seems to keep happening to us, and that's okay. It's okay. It's happened a few times now. We should be used to it. I don't think you ever get used to it. But anyway, so I'm going to plant my little garden in containers, right? So the saga of ordering nursery pots. So I ordered nursery pots online from Amazon. I think, oh, this is a really good deal. That's where I should have had a clue. No, it's not, because I get them, they smell like tar and cigarettes, which is like, it's basically like petrochemicals that I do not want leaching into the food that I'm growing. So I'm like, nope, I can't do these. And my husband tried washing them for me. That was completely unsuccessful. It made the whole bathroom stink. He had to come get them all out, take them upstairs where I wouldn't be exposed to them, and then dry them, and then put them back in the container and we're going to send them back because we cannot use them. So then we get another set from a local nursery. We actually find a nursery that actually has some nursery pots in stock. They're way too big. I can't use them. They're too big. They're just too big for the plants that I need them for. So those go back. Third time's a charm, right? I order some off of eBay. It's not charming at all. You know what happened with the eBay ones? Oh, they smell like chemical fertilizer. I can't be near them. So currently what we've decided to do is my husband tried washing them. And when he washed them, the smell went down significantly. Because the smell actually went down when he washed them, we decided, okay, we will put them outside and see if that helps. It's a little bit windy outside right now. The pots are very light, even though it said that they were sturdy plastic. They are not sturdy plastic. I don't even think they make nursery pots anymore that are sturdy plastic, because they don't make anything that's sturdy anymore. Manufacturing has gone so far downhill in my lifetime. I cannot even. If there's anyone under the age of 30 watching this video, I want to tell you something that you will probably find surprising. There used to be a time, when people did not just get a new one when something broke. We actually took things to get them fixed. And there was pride in workmanship, and people made things to last, not to break. But now, that doesn't happen anymore. It's literally the opposite. Everything is made to fail. It's made to break, so you have to go buy the newest and best and latest and greatest. Only the quality is degrading and degrading and degrading, and I have just watched it get significantly worse over the years. End of rant. I'm not going to keep going on about that, but it's infuriating. Okay, now that's the end of the rant. Anyway, so we put these pots in a dog pen, in Muffins' dog pen. We put them outside so that they won't blow away. That's why they're in the dog pen. And hopefully being exposed to out of doors is going to help the smell go down. I need nursery pots. I don't know what to do. I have tried ordering them and it's completely unsuccessful. And now all the nurseries sell the cheap ones that Amazon sent me. If you can even find any for sale at a nursery, because right now the nurseries don't have anything in stock. And it might just be because it's spring, but it might also be because of what's going on out in the world with all of this like shortage of supplies everywhere. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. I'm supposed to talk about my healing journey, but honestly, that's a part of it. That is a part of living with chemical sensitivity and what it's like. You can't just use stuff that stinks like chemicals. And look, even if I wasn't chemically sensitive, that stuff's not good for anybody. I was just re-listening to the medical medium book Liver Rescue, and I'm on the chapter called Liver Troublemakers. I won't say the chapter number because it's different for the audiobook and the Kindle and the paperback or the hardback book, so it's around chapter 32, 33, 34, something like that. Anyway, I'm listening to the chapter called Liver Troublemakers, and that chapter talks about all of the things that get trapped in our livers and all of these petrochemical based anything, you know, chemical fertilizer and whatever that tar petrochemical plastic crap, all of that stuff, like all the toxins from that stuff, perfumes and air fresheners and pesticides and scented candles and all of these things, gasoline and diesel fuel and fumes from auto exhaust, and all of it gets trapped in our livers because our liver holds on to it so that it doesn't kill us. It keeps it safely trapped and ensconced so that it can't destroy us. Our livers are amazing. The things that they have to filter out to keep us alive, I'm just like, how are we all standing? How are any of us standing? It's phenomenal. It blows my mind. So it's not safe. It's not safe for anybody, and it's not helping anybody to have all of this stuff in the world and out there. It didn't used to be like this. It's the world. It's like everything right now is more toxic than it's ever been in the whole history of ever. It did not used to be like this. And it just blows my mind how much more toxic things are getting and how people don't seem to notice and then just are like, oh, that's just what these things smell like. And it's like, no, they don't. That's not normal. Anyway, so I'm hoping that we can get the chemicals off of this stuff so that I can actually use these nursery pots. I mean, but it is plastic, so it's like, yeah, that stuff soaks in there. I don't know. Maybe I should just give up on the whole The whole reason I even bought plastic nursery pots instead of, well, peat is not sustainable, so I didn't buy peat. But I bought plastic because it would be reusable. And I thought, okay, I can use it over and over for many years. But that's not true. These plastic pots are just, they're just kind of junk. Like, nothing that we have found lately has been any good. So I know that coconut coir pots exist. They are, of course, rather expensive, but I'm considering that next time because this is not working. I used to have that little stamp that made them out of newspaper, but I didn't actually like, first of all, I actually have an issue with newspaper. It messes with my skin. So I can't do that. I can't hold a lot of newspaper and make those pots anymore. The ink on newspapers is toxic too, and the newsprint itself, there's just, I don't know what it is about the process of making it, but it messes with me so bad. Like I have a hard time touching cardboard, and I have a really hard time touching newsprint. And actually, when I was at my most sensitive, papers in general were just very difficult. They would just instantly dry my skin. Like they would dry my skin and they would make my fingers like crack and itch and burn, and it was terrible. So I was like, don't touch paper. But I can touch paper again. I can write in a journal again. For a long time, I couldn't even write in a journal or like draw or anything like that. I couldn't touch even acid-free paper. I couldn't touch. It really messed me up. But that was when I was my most sick. And I can like touch cardboard now. I just don't want to pack a bunch of moving boxes. You know what I mean? If I touch too much cardboard, it builds up too much. It's too much for my body to handle. I did a whole video on packing and moving and my sensitivities, so I won't really go into that. And it's not really relevant to this, but I'm talking about it, so maybe I'll link it. Okay. Just trying to get me some nursery pots. If anyone has any suggestions or knows of any like non-toxic nursery pots where I could order stuff that's not toxic, and if there's like some kind of good, the thing about the plastic too is that they're flexible, so it's easier to get the larger plants out of the pot when they're bigger. Whereas if I use, for example, terracotta pots, those are harder to get the plants out of. I might just have to live with that, honestly. I might just use terracotta pots because A, they're reusable, and B, I don't think they're toxic, as far as I know. Anyway, okay, my healing this week. I don't know, I've been so focused on crafting. I made masks for my husband. The fabric, I had ordered some fabric for us to make masks. It took a minute, but it finally got here, and I had a pattern called the sway pattern. I'll link it below. And I made masks, and I'm making my husband's masks first because he's the one who goes out of the house right now. But I do feel like it is important for us all to have masks, so I am making masks for all of us. I made 3 for each of us. They are reusable. They have a filter pocket that you can put a filter in. The filter is shop towels, so that part is disposable, but you can wash the masks. And the reason I'm making 3 for everybody is so that if one's in the wash, there'll always be another one. And if for some reason 2 of them are out of commission, there's a 3rd one. So I've just been doing a lot of creative stuff. So I'm playing with my seedlings, and I'm making masks, and I have been doing macrame and disassembling this quilt, and I don't know, just lots of creative stuff. I'm trying to get myself to edit videos because it's interesting. Editing videos doesn't usually bother me, but that's usually because the sun isn't out and I don't have a bunch of other fun stuff that I can do. So I don't mind the editing process, but lately I have been wanting to do anything but edit videos. I've been happy to shoot videos. I'm happy to film this and make the video. It's just, I gotta sit down and edit it because you can't put it on YouTube until it's edited. And you might be saying, well, why don't you just sit down and talk and don't worry about editing? Can't do that. I have a cat, I have a dog, they interrupt me constantly. There's hems and haws and pauses that I do. I actually take my time to sort of think, and sometimes I trail off, and you don't need to watch all that. I feel like my videos are long enough without you watching all my pauses and me thinking about what I'm going to say or whatever. I get interrupted a lot, so have to regroup and get my thought process back together. And that just takes a while. Anyway, okay, healing. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing for my healing this week. Honestly, I'll tell you that because keeping the focus on positive things has been so important to me. It's been so important to stay in the light. So important because all of the information out there right now, all of it is geared toward fear and worry and running your adrenals, and I don't even know how much of it is true. Most of it isn't, I think. Most of the information out there isn't even true. I mean, there's parts of it that are true, obviously, but I look for the most basic information and I just stay away from the rest. There's so much stuff going on there out there right now. You can see darkness taking over people. You can see people flipping out and losing their minds, and like just they get caught up. People are angry and afraid, and I get there's stuff going on in the world that's real and is actually happening that contributes to that. But there's a lot of stuff, like a lot of noise that isn't true, like so much noise that isn't true. That, and I'm not even just talking about like in the greater world, or I just mean everywhere. There's just so much stuff that it's just like, you know, people picking fights and creating divisiveness and whatever. It's just like people are losing their minds out there. I want to distance myself from all of that because I need to, because for my own sanity and my own healing, I need to keep myself grounded and breathing and focused on the light, focused on positive things, and not just like, oh, feel good and ignore whatever. No, that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like ignore stuff and whatever. I'm doing what I need to do to keep my family safe. Medical Medium gave us a booklet, a 33-page booklet, how to keep yourself safe. I am doing everything in that booklet for myself and my family. And I'm making masks, and we've got nitrile gloves, and we've got the hand sanitizer, and we've got all this stuff to keep ourselves safe. And I had all that stuff before. I had a fog mask. I had a kit that I carry with me whenever I leave the house that has nitrile gloves and hand sanitizer and wipes and cloth wipes and a little thing of Castile soap, because I don't like to use all of those chemical soaps because they have too many chemicals and it's not good for you. So I already had the kit, but now everybody has the kit. Now everybody's keeping safe, whatever. And that's great. That's great. And I think it's so important to focus on the positive and just do the things that uplift you. So my seedlings and playing with my seedlings and watching my garden grow uplifts me. It gives me hope. It gives me joy. It connects me to nature. That's so important right now. It's so important to connect to nature in whatever way we can. We're all feeling very separate from each other. So it's super important to connect in whatever ways we can. So I am seeing these positive things happening. Like, yes, I'm seeing people flipping out. I'm seeing people go to the dark side or whatever. But I'm also seeing people doing really uplifting things and really helping each other out and doing things that bring more light into this world and more brightness. My cousin, a family member of mine, a young family member of mine, I can't remember how we're related. She's like a niece or like a step niece. I mean, anyway, by marriage or whatever, but she like started a YouTube channel and she's doing stuff on her Instagram where she's an artist. She's this beautiful, like she's an incredible artist. She is incredible. She went to art school, she trained, she's working in a job where she does art for a living, and she is just inspiring. She's this bright ray of sunshine anyway, but she started a YouTube channel where she does these watercolor paintings, like bright, beautiful, colorful watercolors, and just shows her process, and it's just very soothing and comforting, and it's like this great project that she started. I'm like, yes, that's exactly, do that, like do things that are inspiring. And I see people do things that are inspiring like that. That's just one example. And I'm seeing people like, you know, sharing their healing stories with the world, sharing things that inspire other people, getting together online, you know, and connecting that way, and like doing interviews and talking to each other. And I'm going to do some stuff like that too coming up. And I mean, for this channel. I mean, not just for me, but like I'm going to do some stuff on this channel like that. I think it's so important, and it's such, like, it's a triumph of the human spirit that we find ways, like we find ways to connect, and we find ways to each other, and we find ways to keep ourselves uplifted. You know, like for me, it's being creative and doing creative things. But, you know, I see people who are like taking the opportunity to just be with their kids or spend time with their family, the family they live with, obviously, you know. And I see people who are like, okay, well, I guess this is a great time to clean my house because I'm stuck here, so I might as well clean my house, or whatever, like reorganizing, or whatever it is for you that brings you joy. And if you don't have the energy to do that, like I said, with chronic illness, probably a lot of you were already there. We've already been in quarantine for years. Nobody notices us, but that's, hey, you know, it's where we are. You know what I mean? Like, so we already know what to do, right? And I've just been feeling so creative lately, and that's been really important to me, to just keep focused on the buoyant stuff. Anything that tries to draw my attention away from my healing into adrenal land. If I feel my body, if I'm reading a post on social media, somebody texts me and somebody said this or whatever, anything like that, if it takes my body tells me, like I check in with my body. How does that feel? Does it feel, I can feel the adrenaline start to go the second I'm focusing on something that doesn't serve me, right? And I go, nope, that's not for me. That's not mine. My focusing on that isn't going to help anything in my life or in my family's life or anywhere in the world, really. It's not going to help. What's it going to do? It's not going to help. I don't want to run my adrenals just to run my adrenals. No, man, I'm trying to support my adrenals. I'm trying to support my liver. I'm trying to keep myself calm and grounded and do what I need to do to keep my healing moving forward. And a lot of that for me too has also been like just focusing on the spiritual side and connecting with the angels and connecting with my higher power. Whatever that is for you. You know what I mean? Like just things that soothe the soul. Whatever that is. And nature is such a balm. Such a balm. It's so soothing. If you can get outside. For me, honestly, outside this window right here, that's why I keep looking over there. There's a blue, beautiful sky. I have seen so many pictures from people that with this blue, beautiful sky, it's so clear. It's clearer than I've seen it in years. I mean, it's not clearer than I've ever seen it, but it's clearer than I've seen it be in years. And it's so nice to see. And I'm watching the green just burst everywhere on these trees outside, and I'm looking at the big puffs of pink from the trees that have the pink blossoms on them, and it's gorgeous. I see all this green grass, and those colors, the dark browns of the tree trunks and the greens, the spring greens and the blue in the sky. Oh my gosh, just looking at them, just seeing them out there with the sun soothes my soul, makes me so happy. So happy. And being out there is really great. I was trying to film something out there earlier. It's cold, first of all. Not so cold that it's intolerable. So I was like, it's fine. But there's just like a lot of noise outside right now. I don't know what's going on, but there's like this high-pitched ringing sound out there. I'm like, okay, well, I can't make a video with that. It's not a siren. I don't know what it is. Just a lot of noise out there. There's always traffic noise, but I was like, okay, this is next level. I can't do any filming out here. This room is the only place in the house that I can get any quiet, like at all. So this is why I film in here. But outside, it's so nice outside because you can hear the birds, and it's just, oh my gosh. So if you can do that wherever you are, like, do it. Just do it. Just, even if you're just sitting outside your yard or on a balcony or whatever, like, do it. It just, it's so good. It's so good. I often talk about what I've been eating. Same stuff as last week. Same all the time. I don't vary very much. It's just kind of the same. So I'll just run through it. But lemon water in the morning, sometimes honey lemon ginger water, sometimes honey lemon water, then celery juice a half hour later, 32 ounces of each, and then my heavy metal detox smoothie a half hour after that, along with like tinctures and supplements in there. And then after that, I will either have like another smoothie, or maybe I'll make some nice cream, or sometimes I'll have some potatoes, and then another smoothie. Oftentimes I will have a asparagus, cucumber, apple juice. That is, I'm trying to get one in every day. I don't always do it, but I try to get one in every day. Yeah, so that's my food. And symptom wise, I don't have much to report. I've been feeling good. My energy's pretty good. I'm fully recovered from surgery as far as I can tell. I'm back to normal. I need to start rebounding again because of that. I haven't, but maybe today I will start. I said that last week and I didn't. And I'm just calling myself out for it. I said I would and I didn't. Here's my problem. I don't want to take the time to rebound because I have so many other things that want my attention and that I want to do. And I keep letting myself be distracted by all of those. So that's on me. But, you know, I'm still making all the foods and stuff like that. Oh, I gotta say a couple things. Have you tried the Medical Medium sticky cauliflower recipe? If you haven't, do it. It is so good. So good. And remember, I'm totally fat-free, so I make it without the oil. And I don't use any of the sesame seeds. I just use the scallions. And I've had it without the scallions, and I've had it with steamed cauliflower and baked cauliflower. I love steamed cauliflower. I'm fine with it that way. And just steaming the cauliflower, putting the sauce on it, and the scallions, so good to me. Another way to do it is to bake the cauliflower, but without the breading on it. Or with, it doesn't matter. Like, you can have it all kinds of variations. I prefer it without because the breading is kind of extra to me and it's not the best thing for me to eat. So it's not the worst. It's like, I can eat it. I like it. It's yummy. My cat likes it and my dog likes it too. They love it. Anytime they hear a piece of parchment paper on a tray, they're like, gimme. They want whatever it is because I have made breaded things. And by breading, I mean with cassava flour or garbanzo flour. That's what I mean. I don't mean actual bread. That recipe, the Medical Medium sticky cauliflower, is beyond. It is so crazy good. You don't need the sesame seeds. If you're going fat-free, it's perfect without it. It's really good with it. My son has been asking for it every single day. He loves it ever since the first time I made it. I had another recipe that I was making. It was like a teriyaki cauliflower, and it was breaded the same way with either cassava flour or garbanzo flour, and I put spices in it in the mix, and I have like a teriyaki sauce recipe that I make, and he loved that. But when I started making the sticky one, he was like, "No, I want that one." He's like, "I want that one. It's so good." He's not wrong. It is so good. So I just had to say that because you guys gotta know, like, that recipe is next level. And then, and the Cleanse to Heal, the Medical Medium Cleanse to Heal book is coming out, is being released a month early, April 21st instead of May 21st. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. And if you didn't know, I'm sure you already all know by now, but I'm gonna say it just in case you don't. You can go download the first chapter from his website for free. So I did, and I read it. It was great. And I was in tears, and I'm like, he sees us in a way that nobody has ever seen us before. And by us, I mean people who have suffered from chronic illness, people who have had chronic illness or have it. The way he recognizes us and sees us and understands what we go through is unparalleled. I have never experienced that from anyone else in that way before. It's just amazing, other than obviously those of us who experience chronic illness, but it's almost like he takes it to that next level. And at the end of that chapter, there is a recipe that I made for spicy cauliflower. I think it's like curried cauliflower and peas. It is yummy. It is spicy. I did add some maple syrup to it, but it is so good. So, already recipes. Book's out a month early. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And in case anyone ever wonders, I know that those of you who have watched my videos for a really long time know this, but in case anybody ever wonders, I am not affiliated in any way with Medical Medium. I am not sponsored by him. When I make these delightful endorsements, it's fully from my own heart, because the information in the Medical Medium books has made such an incredible and profound difference in my life. Again, the links are down below. You can watch videos or read my story, but I lived on Mattress Island and I did not want to be on this earth anymore because of how much I suffered from all of my chronic pain and all of the symptoms and conditions that I had. And I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't walk, I couldn't move, I couldn't prepare food, I couldn't take a shower, and I just lived on the sofa. I didn't even use my wheelchair in my house because I couldn't propel it. I didn't have the energy or the strength or the anything to do that. So the wheelchair was only for kind of emergency situations. If I went to a doctor's appointment, my husband would push me in the wheelchair. But at home, I just sat there. I couldn't do anything else. And I was in so much pain and I was miserable and I had such severe brain fog and I couldn't do anything or think, or I just couldn't function so much of the time. And the Medical Medium information is what has brought me back. And so, yep, I'm still making a channel almost 4 years later. I'm still talking about it and I'm still sharing my journey every step of the way. And yeah, I got a lot of toxins in my body that still need to get out, but I've done so much of the groundwork at this point, and I've done so much healing, and so many symptoms and conditions have healed. Whatever's left, I'm not even worried about it. There's so many times along this journey that I have said, if I didn't heal any further, if this was as far as it went, I would consider it and just an unmitigated success, because what I've gotten back has just been my life. Literally everything. I owe that man my life more than once. I guess it's not just that man, it's Anthony William and Spirit of Compassion, but I owe them the Medical Medium, which is the team of the two of them. I owe them my life. I do. And I'm so incredibly grateful. I love you so much, my healers and health seekers. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up down below. You can subscribe to my channel by hitting that subscribe button over there, or ding the bell next to it if you want to be notified when I post a new video. I just want to say, I wish you peace during this time. I wish you blessings for your continued healing journey. I wish you love, I wish you hope, I wish you faith, I wish you trust. I wish you would know that you can heal. I hope you always stay curious. Know that you are in my heart and that I love you and that I love hearing from you. So any questions or any comments or anything you want to tell me or share with me, I'd love to hear it. And I will see you next time. Mwah! Bye-bye.